What was that, ladies and gentlemen? What did we just witness? Lens beat Arsenal 2-1 in our second Champions League night of the season, in what was a disappointing display from the boys. Absolutely disappointing display. And what more insult to injury is that Bukayo Saka got injured. It's the first game of the season that we dropped points. Sorry, not drop points. First game of the season that we lost. And it's just worrying signs. Mikel Arteta not learning from his mistakes in the past and not doing the substitutions and rotations when need be. I'm honestly disappointed. I'm appalled by the performance in some of the players, but at the same time, I feel like we could have still got a draw if we just had our shooting boots on. We did not treat this game with the importance that we should have treated it with. And I am really, really, really pissed off with the overall result, performance, and headed into the Man City game. The fact that Bukayo Saka has picked up an injury. This is a guy who we need. It's crucial that Bukayo Saka plays in all these big games. He's one of our best players. And now he looks like he might be injured. And it's not looking good, ladies and gentlemen. It's not looking good. Mikel Arteta, when asked about Bukayo Saka's injury, had this to say. I'm just going to show you guys. What do you call it? I'll show you what he had to say. He said, Arsenal, Mikel Arteta on Bukayo Saka's injury. It does not look good. Ladies and gentlemen, it does not look good. Apparently, Bukayo Saka, we don't know what the extent of the injury is at this moment in time. We are assuming that it is a hamstring injury, but regardless, when Mikel Arteta was asked about the injury, here is what he had to say. I'm worried about. I'm not gonna show you guys. I'm not gonna play the audio, but I'm just gonna show you guys what Mikel Arteta had to say in regards to this right here. Where is it? Bukayo Saka's injury. Here we go. So when asked about it, he said Bukayo felt something after a back heel, nothing else. Arteta reveals that Arsenal's performance against Lens shed some light on Bukayo Saka's injury. Also, here's the actual full quote. Mikel Arteta on Bukayo Saka's injury. He tried to backheel the ball in the first half and felt something muscular. It wasn't able to carry on. And when we don't know more, but it wasn't good. Wasn't big enough for us to remove him. Guys, this is gonna cost us. This is honestly gonna cost us. We cannot afford to not rotate players. Mikel Arteta is at fault here. I definitely have to give him some corn for these kind of mistakes. He cannot have a team in the Champions League, in all these cups, in the league, fighting for everything without rotating some of your best players. You're going to have to rotate Bukayo Saka on occasion. You cannot play Bukayo Saka every single game and expect to think we're going to do well. Why was Saka have been rested? Yeah, he should have been rested. Ben White was rested. Why wasn't Saka rested? I saw on the terrace Jason wanting Arteta sacked. I swear, bro, I get why rivals make fun of was because of takes like this. Yeah, man, I know. It's just kind of going overboard. Cheers. Out for the season. No, he's not, bro. Don't even wish that on anybody. Big up everyone. Do me a favor. Yeah, big up to you, my guy. It's Kaz in the building. Guys, make sure you do hit that like button. Let's get this stream past at least 100 likes. Yeah, 15th place Lens, bro. These things happen. It's the Champions League. We haven't been in it in a while, but honestly, it is a disgraceful performance from the team in the second half, and that was unacceptable for a team like Arsenal to lose to Lens. Now, we know Lens, we lost 2-1 to Lens, and guys, after Jesus scored his goal, I thought we were going to absolutely dominate them. Now, let me just show you guys the team. Today, is there even a point of doing player ratings? Because when we do player ratings, David Raya made a mistake for the opening goal. He's going to get a bad rating today. You got Zinchenko, terrible performance. He's going to get a bad rating today. Tomiyasu couldn't really do anything attacking-wise, and he even had an opportunity to score a goal to give us the equalizer, and he just shot it straight at the keeper. Once again, Tomiyasu always has solid performances, but today was a poor performance from him. Martin Odegaard couldn't really get his game going today, was poor for majority of this game, and even had to get subbed off for Eddie Nketiah. You had Kai Havertz had a chance in front of goal. If I'm not mistaken, he had one shot in front of goal. Yep, and it was a weak shot right in front of the goal. The goalkeeper's on the ground. All he had to do was tap it in. Couldn't do it. Goalkeeper got to it. Trossard, I think he had 2 shots. Actually had 1. Trossard could have done better too, but he wasn't really threatening at all. Jesus was clinical with his opportunity in the first couple of minutes. You got to give Gabriel Jesus credit. He did score a goal, but come on. We have to do better. We have to do better. This was a disgraceful performance in the second half. And in the first half, you got to give it up to Lens. I underestimated away nights in the Champions League. I underestimated this Lens team. I underestimated our opponent. And I kind of feel like our team somewhat underestimated them also. But the biggest the biggest disappointment in this whole team was we did not take our opportunities when we had them. I felt like we had much more opportunities. We had majority of the control of the game. We had majority of the possession, as you can see, but we were not clinical at all. These guys had 2 beautiful goals, and you gotta give Lens credit. You gotta give them credit. You gotta give them credit. They pissed me off today. You gotta give them credit. Man lost to Lens. Bro, allow it, bro. I'm pretty sure Lens beat Lens. Probably that's the first English side that they beat. We got Almada saying season over, bro. Come on, season just beginning. Let's not go and come to granular statements like this. The season is not even close to being over. We got 169 of you guys in the chat. Do me a favor, hit that like button right now. We've already spoken about Bukayo Saka. Let's now speak about a certain Mikel Arteta. We got to talk about Arteta, guys. We have to talk about Arteta. And the reason why we have to talk about Arteta is because Arteta is not learning. He is not learning from his mistakes of the past. And I am somebody who rates Mikel Arteta on a high level. But today, he is at fault for 2 things. 2 major things he's at fault for. One, the players not doing the basics in the second half. In the second half, how is it that it's a 1-1 game? We're constantly pushing. We're constantly trying to create chances, constantly trying to do stuff. We have some shots, but I don't feel like any of the shots that we had in the second half were created naturally. Like we were not able to break them down properly. At times, you have to give Lens their credit because they were clinical whenever they got their opportunities, but we did not create enough chances. We did not do enough in the second half. In the first half, the performance was spotty at best. We did score. We were very clinical with the opening goal. I did not feel like we did enough. And here's where the biggest criticism goes down to Mikel Arteta. Bukayo Saka, we already knew he came off injured the previous game. Why did you start him again this game? On top of that, if you are going to play Tomiyasu, right? He doesn't offer us any overlapping or assistance to Bukayo Saka on that right flank. We know that. I'm not saying play Cedric, but try to find another way to play when we have Tomiyasu on the pitch, because he doesn't play the same way as Ben White. He doesn't offer us the same situation as Ben White. And defensively, Zinchenko today was shocking. Today, Zinchenko was terrible. You could have easily played Tomiyasu. You could have easily played Tomiyasu at left back and maybe done Ben White one more game. Did Ben White really need to be rested? Ben White hasn't picked up an injury all season, hasn't had any type of knock or anything, if I'm not mistaken, where Bukayo Saka had a knock previously. So Mikel Arteta, his rotation cost us. His substitutions, yes, he made one substitution in the 34th minute because he was forced to for Fabio Vieira. But why wait until the 70th minute to make substitutions? You clearly see that we're not scoring. You clearly see we're not doing nothing. You wait until they score a goal for us to make substitutions? Come on. Mikel Arteta, you have to do better there again. You have to do better there again. That is another mistake. right? Big up to you, sis. Hope you're doing well. Saying big up, Egal legend. The chat. What a disappointing night. Absolutely disappointing night. Stop scapegoating Kai Havertz. Yeah, people in the chat need to stop scapegoating Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz is not the problem today. The overall performance from the team was the problem. We did not do enough on the day. We did not perform well enough on the day. We did not create enough chances. We just did not. We were not clinical when we did have a chance, and we're scrap. We were we were we were we were we were just. It's not that we were second best. It's that we came into this game almost cocky, arrogant, like we looked past our opponent to a certain degree. I was listening to some of the guys on the other stream, and they were talking about, did we look past this game and look ahead to the Man City game? Did we kind of go and jump ahead? That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm honestly thinking at this moment in time. I'm honestly thinking we jumped ahead, we jumped the gun, and we kind of looked a little bit too far. It was a shocking performance. Arteta's at fault for the substitutions and the changes. We already know that. He should have done the Bukayo Saka change. We already know that. Some people saying we're unlucky. There's nothing unlucky about this game. We did not do enough. There's no reason to sit here and have a pity party. Speak soon, broski. Unlucky. Yeah, man. Papa Mendy, man of the match over Declan Rice, has pocketed. Nah, bro. Declan Rice was actually good. Declan Rice was actually good. People chatting shit. If you think anybody did anything to Declan Rice today, Declan Rice was actually good. I think the people who out of our team today, if any two people can hold their head up, I would say it's probably Saliba. Because guys, Saliba literally had to do everything today. Gabriel Magalhaes, he didn't do that. The two defenders didn't really do much. All right. Then you have a situation where you look at Declan Rice. Did Declan Rice have a bad game? Guys, Declan Rice was literally everybody's outball. Anytime somebody got into a situation where they had two players on him, they just throw it over to Declan Rice, and then he's immediately pressured too. We have to give Lund some credit. The opponent pressed us. Their press was immense. Their press was better than ours. But yeah, let's see what the Arsenal team have to speak about, and everybody after the game. Let's see what the Arsenal website has to say, and if there's any interesting tidbits or things that we can get out of this game. And honestly, guys, it is disappointing. I'm not looking at any individuals saying, "Oh, they cost us" or "he cost us." What do you think about Zinchenko? I thought Zinchenko was poor. I thought a lot of players were poor. Just in this image alone, I thought you look at Trossard, he was poor today. Tomiyasu was poor. I think Saliba and Declan Rice were probably two of our better players on the day. I don't know about you guys, but I thought they were two of our better players. I don't know how many players in this Arsenal team today that you can actually say had really good games, because nobody really had like a standout, amazing performance. But it was a situation where, hey, if you're gonna sit there and critique individuals, which individuals are you gonna critique? You can't really go out of your way and say, oh, Declan Rice was a problem today. I think you're reaching when you say Declan Rice was an issue today. I really do think so. Right? That's just me. Let's get through it. So Raya, we've already spoken about. Tomiyasu, we already spoke about. Saliba, we spoke about. Zinchenko, we spoke about. Declan Rice, we spoke about. Kai Havertz, we spoke about. Odegaard, we spoke about. Saka, we spoke about. Trossard, we spoke about. Jesus, we spoke about. The substitutions we've spoken about. So let's just go through what the Arsenal PR are talking about. They're saying Gavi silences the locals. Gabriel Jesus did score a goal, but that wasn't enough. When Lens equalized, we met them the last time we played them. They drew. Tommy denied. Yeah, they spoke about that last opportunity Tomiyasu had, and that's pretty much it. Mikel Arteta, you have to kill the game. 110%. 110%. Mikel Arteta's analyzation of the game is we have to kill off the game, and he's 100% right. We didn't kill off the game. But in the same time, I would say we didn't do enough to kill off the game. We didn't create enough. We gave them too many opportunities. This was a disappointing performance based on not only our finishing, but the fact that we let them play we let them play what they wanted to do. They gave us all the ball and they just countered us, and they're very efficient with their counter attack. So Mikel Arteta's analyzation of the game might be that we needed to kill off the game, but I would say we needed to do more in this game rather than just kill it off. We weren't able to kill off the game because they pressed us. They let us have the ball, and they tried to win the ball in dangerous places, and they did that. They won the ball in dangerous situations, and us getting the ball in and playing around with it in the back was what led to their winner. What led to their first goal, the equalizer. So at the end of the day, I'm just gonna sit here and I'm gonna lie to you guys. Mikel Arteta is kind of giving us copium right now. He's kind of giving us copium. I get it that we need to be more clinical, but that's the analyzation of every game. That's the honest analyzation of every game. What did he really say? He said that was the difference between today and PSV, that we weren't clinical. What? Excuse me? The most difficult thing is to score the first goal. We were in total control of the game. We conceded a goal, and after we had 4 big chances in Europe. You have to kill games. Guys, he said we had 4 big chances to kill the game. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm looking at the chances, and I'm saying to myself, which chance is he talking about that we had that we should have killed the game off with? Look at this. You have the Jesus chance here. That wasn't a good chance. You have the Havertz chance here, 50-50, right? You have the Trossard chance. This one could have been a goal. You have the Tomiyasu chance. That one could have been a goal. Besides those 2, I don't know what other chances he's talking about that were standout, clear-cut chances. You can see we statistically bossed the game, but statistics don't get you the 2 goals that you need to win the game on top of what you did. So a little bit of copium from Mikel Arteta, and it's disappointing. I would expect him to own up and be like, you know what, we didn't do good enough. But he's kind of just brushing it up under the carpet and saying that we just were not clinical. I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true today. But hey, maybe I'm being harsh. Saka will be fine for the City game. I don't know if he's going to be fine for the City game. I honestly don't. I honestly do not know if he's going to be fine for the City game. I'm a little bit concerned. For the City game. But let me show you guys some stuff. Do me a favor, guys. Hit that like button before we do the player ratings. Let's just see if there's any news before we go. Let's just see if there's any news. This is what was spoken about. The report in the attendance feels something here. Saka may not be too bad. Perhaps it's a muscular strain, maybe a precaution. Sky Sports News reporter Brian Collar on RC Lens. I don't want to give Arsenal and England fans false hope, but I feel around here it's not at all official. Is that Saka may not be too bad. Perhaps it's a muscular strain or maybe a precaution. The club have made it clear that Arteta will not take chances with any player with the Man City game around the corner. So yeah, guys, this is good news. Bukayo Saka's injury might actually just be a precaution. He might have been just taken out for precautionary reasons. It might be a situation where it might not be as bad as we think. It was an action. The back heel, we already spoke about that. Arteta nodded his head when asked about the severity and the timescale of the injury. We know Mikel Arteta kind of sometimes tells lies. What did he say about Raya's error that led to the equalizer? This happens. Mistakes are part of the game. They will continue to be there somehow, but it's difficult. Was made in both boxes, especially in the Champions League. Don't generate 10 clear-cut chances. When you get there, you have to put the ball into the back of the net. Mikel Arteta just brushing it under the carpet, saying that we're just not clinical on the day. And you know what? I feel like it's a little bit of copium, but he's not wrong in the same breath. Anything else that we need to talk about? Declan Rice was the one who spoke after the game. Tough night. Obviously, with the result, it doesn't look good, but I felt like we created enough to win the game. Do you guys think we created enough to win the game, guys? We got Man City next, Chelsea next, Sevilla, and thing. Yeah. Let me ask you guys, everyone in the comment section, yes or no? Do you think we created enough today to win this game? Let me know what you guys think. Because I think if you look at it, based on the run of the game, the 2-1 the difference between them and us, of course we have more possession, we have more passes, double their passes. We had a lot of shots on goal, but I'm looking at their shots and I'm saying to myself, yeah, they had low quality shots. Their goal was actually quite crazy. That finish was amazing. This goal they were always gonna score on that goal. But Gabriel Jesus scores that one, but we couldn't score the Thomas chance. We couldn't score the Leandro Trossard chance. Like, this is what cost us. Is it? Did we create enough, or should we be doing more? Should we have like at least 2-3 XG against a team away from home that we think is lesser than us? That's what I'm saying. But yeah. Okay, let's do the player ratings now. Let's do the player ratings now. Let's see what you're saying. Confidence for the City game. Yeah, there you go. We got Brendan in the building. Brendan, what are you saying?
Still fuming.
Listen, did you see what Mikel Arteta said? He came out and said that we have to kill off the game. We were not clinical.
Yes,
that's
I
why
did.
we lost. Do you agree
Sorry?
with that statement, or do you think that's copium?
I think that's a load of rubbish. I don't think we played very well at all tonight. I don't think it's got anything to do with being clinical. Because let's be honest, what chances did we create apart from the goal? I
The
don't remember.
Tomiyasu chance, the Trossard chance. That's pretty much it. We had
That's
10
what I mean.
shots. We had 10 shots, but I don't know, man. It was very much. So you agree with me, right? That Arteta and the players both came out and said that we were just not clinical on the day. That's why we lost.
Yeah, no, that's a load of rubbish. Absolutely load of rubbish. You could tell by the way we played, mate. You know, like I said, you got to move the ball quickly. You got to create little triangles. You know, how many times did we see today Zinchenko pick up the ball, look forward, and there's no movement? There's no movement. You know, same with Declan Rice. Picked up the ball, look forward, no movement. It's just sideways, backwards. It's got nothing to do with us creating chances, because if anything, I think Lon's probably created the better chances. In terms of like chance creation, maybe we did create more chances, but I think Lon's had the better of the chances. And yeah, it was just a poor game all round. I can't pick out any player that played to the best of their abilities tonight. I think Declan Rice did all right in the first half, you know, sweeping up, stopping them from counter-attacking us. But in the second half, he weren't great. Saliba and Gabriel weren't great. Zinchenko wasn't great. David Raya wasn't great. Maybe Tomiyasu. I thought Jesus was really poor in the second half. Didn't hold the ball up very well at all. Trossard weren't great. But I didn't expect too much from Trossard anyway, because he's been out injured for a while. Don't think Fabio Vieira was great. And I think, you know, the worst thing about it was I was watching the game and the commentator said that, and I was watching it as well, in the second half, Lons pushed their defence 5 yards, 10 yards further forward, right? And that was because they had no threat coming the other way, because Bukayo Saka had gone off. He was the only player that we had with like pace, basically. Yeah. Jesus hasn't really got pace. Trossard hasn't really got pace. Fabio Vieira hasn't really got pace. So they didn't really have anything to worry about coming in, like going in behind and over the top of them. And at that point, that's when Mikel Arteta should have brought on someone like Reece Nelson, who has got pace, to give them something to think about. And instead, he left it a bit too long. And, they was pushing further and further forward. And that's how the second goal happened. Because, they didn't have anything that they was worried about coming the other way. So you kind of have to look at the manager in a way. But for me, this tonight is on the players. Because
By the way, so you're not putting it on Arteta?
No, tonight's on the players. At the end of the day, that's our first 11. We should be going to Lons and beating them.
I agree with you. I fully
So
agree. And
the only
that's
thing that
why.
I am putting on the only thing I am putting on Arteta is the Saka situation, because I said it
Guess
after
what?
Bournemouth.
Reports have come out from France that Arsenal were just being extra precautionary with Bukayo Saka by taking him out, and that they weren't that the fears of him and his injury being extensive as we think in England might not be accurate. That the situation is not as severe as first seems. But Arteta, of course, is playing it up and making it seem like it's worse to maybe do mind games. I don't think it's as bad as we actually think it is.
Well, if it is as bad as what we think it is, it's a hamstring, because it looked like he was holding his hamstring. And if that's the case, then he will be out for a few weeks. Right? If it's not as bad as what we think it is, it still doesn't deflect the point that Bukayo Saka has played 87 consecutive Arsenal games, and he needs a rest at some point. At the end of the day, right? This manager gave Reece Nelson $100,000 a week contract. What is the point in giving Reece Nelson $100,000 a week contract if you're going to consistently play Bukayo Saka, whether he's 100% fit or not? Yeah, you have to trust in your players that you have signed and that you have given new contracts to.
I fully agree with you, bro. But let me just say, devil's advocate here. Don't you think top players want to play every game?
Of course
Don't you think there's doctors there to tell him not to do so?
And and I agree with that as well, right? As a player, because I play football myself, right? As a player, you want to play every single game that you possibly can, sometimes you'll even lie. Sometimes you'll say you're 100% fit, even though you may be carrying a little bit of a niggle, right? And Bukayo Saka strikes me as that type of person, because he wants to play every single game. He wants to help the team, right? But sometimes you have got to be the person to protect your players, right? And that's the biggest problem that I have with Mikel Arteta. He doesn't need a physio. He doesn't need a fitness team to tell him, because Bukayo Saka has limped off in the last 2 games previous to this one.
Let me read this super chat quick. Why is Saka? Why are you playing Saka against camera? What? I'm confused.
No
Vic, please explain what you mean. Why are you playing Saka against the camera? And second comment, Sevilla versus Arsenal is a heavyweight Europa League game. You know what? That's actually true. But hey, it is what it is. You don't pick your opponents, right? You just
No, you don't. And at the end of the day, we've got to correct that result tonight, because if we go away to Sevilla and we lose, as an example, then this group becomes a little bit sticky then, because then you're staring at the barrel of, it's a group that's wide open, when really and truly we should be winning this group comfortably. I don't care what anybody says. Every single team that we have got in this group is a Europa League team at best. And if we want to win the Champions League, we have to be beating these teams. We can't be putting in performances like tonight.
Okay. I haven't actually spoken about this too much. I spoke about a lot of things, but what did you think of David Raya's mistake? Because some people are anytime either goalkeeper makes a mistake, they're gonna just pan over to Ramsdale. Luckily, this is not in the Premier League, or else they would have shown Ramsdale's reaction to it right away. I don't know if you've seen the mistake, but he basically gave the ball away for the equalizer.
Yeah. I mean, it's a difficult pass to make. It's not an easy pass to make, and he took a risk in trying to play it. I think he's definitely to blame, because he left Tomiyasu short. But at the same time, I kind of look at Tomiyasu as well and think you're caught on your heels there, you know. So yeah, it's a bad mistake. It's a bad mistake. But what I would say is it's the first mistake that he's made since he's been in the Arsenal goal. So, and these things do happen. It's not like he gave the ball away to the striker that was directly in front of him. That was a long range pass. And from that situation, we have to be better. Like Gabriel and William Saliba have to defend that better. There's other players there that could have got him out of trouble in that situation. Tomiyasu was another one, and we didn't. So it's not just a case of blaming David Raya. I think you have to look at Tomiyasu, you have to look at Gabriel, you have to look at Saliba, because their defending wasn't good enough either. So, yeah, that's what I would say on that one.
I'm going to say this. What went wrong on the day? We already spoke about Saka. We already spoke about the goalkeeper. Were we predictable? And were we not able to create different types of chances? Because I felt like everything was just a cutback. Everything was cut back. Go to the wing, cut back. Go to the wing, cut back. Take a long shot. Are we starting to get predictable, or is it just, what is it? Like, is there a level of predictability with this team?
I suppose you could say that in a sense, because the way that we play, even when we're going forward, even in Premier League games, a lot of the time when it goes out wide, you don't see our wide players taking on players. You see them, kind of cut inside, play passes across the pitch. We never really take on players. We're always trying to pull their defenders out of position in order to create a gap, right? And with the two banks of four that we was trying to break down tonight, they was just, I put it down to them being so well set up. I think their manager set them up perfectly. And the way that, they executed it as well, they made it very difficult for us. But we do have to be better. And what I mean by that is, when you're playing against two banks of four like that, you have to move the ball quickly. It's the only way you're going to be able to pull players out of position and create space. And we was a bit too slow, a bit too lethargic. And that's why I say, blame the players for this, because in that situation, even as a non-professional footballer, that you have to create little triangles. You have to move the ball quickly in order to create the space. And we didn't do that at all tonight. So for me, it's on the players. They shouldn't be having to wait for instructions from the sideline, from the manager, to say, move the ball quickly. It should be blatantly obvious to you. Do you know what I mean?
Is this another example of why we needed a striker? Because we're today, once again, good old Damasio. I don't rate this guy, but he wrote an article saying Ivan Toney to Arsenal. It depends in January what Brentford's solution will be. I think they will ask for between 70 to 80 million. I know that they are trying to scout for other players to replace him, but obviously they are planning to sell him if an offer is high. So I think we're going to go in for him in January. Do you think this is the piece that we need? And if he was there today, you think we win this game?
I don't know about whether we win the game if he's there.
If we had a striker today, do we win this game?
I don't think so, because, like I say, we created very minimal opportunities. The only real clear-cut opportunity we created was the goal, and Gabriel Jesus was clinical when he finished with that. So, but we do need Ivan Toney. I don't care what anybody says. We need Ivan Toney. He offers something different. It means that we can put balls in the box, which is something that Arsenal don't do right now. We don't take our man on, and we don't cross the ball often enough, because most of our players are under 6 foot. And the thing is if you put balls in the box, how many times is Gabriel Jesus going to be winning headers against 6'3", 6'4" defenders? Not very often.
Mm.
So you need somebody like an Ivan Toney who can do all of the same things that Jesus does with the hold-up play and bringing other players in, but can also be an aerial threat as well. So Ivan Toney is definitely a piece that we need. I heard Pedro Neto being
where is
mentioned
that?
in there as well.
Let me see if I can find that. Where is it? It's somewhere down here. Pedro Neto, where is it? You know what? Before we go, we're gonna also do the player ratings, but today's player ratings are not gonna be that good. I seen the article on Pedro Neto. What's this? Oh yeah, Kieran Tierney's injured, 3 months injury, by the way.
Yeah.
Typical Kieran Tierney, man. I like the guy, but he's always injured. Here's the Pedro Neto link. He would be amazing cover for Saka right now. Imagine Saka gets injured, we bring in Pedro Neto. I don't feel like there's a drop off, but it's not massive. So this is the kind
I
of
think
signing we should have made.
Yeah, I think he's also a missing piece because the thing about Pedro Neto is he's a different type of player to Saka in a way. Because, like I say, Saka likes to cut inside. He likes to be that kind of play these pretty patterns and create space and stuff like that. Pedro Neto is very much like Martinelli. He will just take his man on, and that's it. And he'll launch balls into the box. He'll do whatever, and he's quick. He's pacey. And can you imagine, right?
Neto's
Yeah,
a winner as
imagine,
well.
let's just say Bukayo Saka is out injured, right? Imagine you've got Martinelli on one side and Pedro Neto on the other.
And backups as Trossard and Nelson.
That is like, imagine how
Strength
scared
in depth, bro.
defensive will be
Strength in depth.
having to come up against that.
Crazy.
Jesus.
Hit that like button, guys. We're almost at the halfway point. I mean, we're just past the halfway point. We're going to be getting into a couple more stuff. By the way, a quick update on Bukayo Saka. Thank God. I don't want to give Arsenal and England fans false hope, but the feeling around here is, and not at all official, is that Saka may not be too bad. Perhaps a muscular strain or maybe precaution. The club have made it clear Arteta will not take no chances with any player with Man City around the corner. So this is maybe more of a precautionary substitution than an actual straight out injury. So I'm happy to hear that. I don't know about you guys. This reporter is straight from France. No, they have no reason to lie. The reporter himself is this man right here. So I don't know why. There's no reason for this Sky Sports reporter to lie on his reporting. But hey, let's see what happens, because we know Mikel Arteta is known for kind of not giving all the information. Maybe we have a surprise start from Bukayo Saka in the North. We've seen it before where players have surprise starts in big games. So we'll see. And I'm thinking the whole week he's gonna probably keep his cards close to his chest and say Saka's gone. And then on the day of, he's gonna show up. That's what I'm hoping. But hey, let's go to the final thing. What do you think of that though? Are you not surprised, right, that Mikel Arteta is gonna lie about this injury the whole week?
No, of course I'm not surprised, but it still doesn't throw away the point that I don't think he should have started the game today. I think Reece Nelson, in fact, if he was going to start Bukayo Saka today, then Reece Nelson should have started against Bournemouth. Because at the end of the day, you've got to start protecting these players.
Yeah,
Bukayo Saka is our important player. You know, he has to protect his players. As simple as that. And if he's not injured and he plays against Manchester City, then we've had a touch. We've had a massive touch of luck. Because let's just say, for an example, if it does turn out to be a major injury and he's out for 2 months, for an example, then we're all going to be sitting there going, why on earth did you continue to play him, even though he limped off in the 2 previous games? And this is the thing with Mikel Arteta. He and I get it. He wants Saka to play every single game. He's our best player. Saka wants to play every single game. But sometimes you have to take players out of the firing line and you have to trust in your squad. And that's the thing that frustrates me, right? Because if that's the case, why give Reece Nelson $100,000 a week contract if you're just going to play with Saka, whether he's injured and fully fit or not? You know, it don't make no sense to me. Sometimes you have to trust in your other players. So, yeah.
Yeah. By the way, chat, I need to trust in you guys because we're currently we only have 45 likes on the video. Like the video. You see that black that like button right there? Like the video. It's absolutely free. It doesn't cost you a penny. And now we're going to do the player rating. So this is the segment where the chat gets involved. You guys help us decide. Me and Brendan are going to say our ratings and you guys do the tie breaks. So Brendan, I don't know how you do your ratings, but anybody who you think had a poor game, you can give them a 6. and below, anybody who you think had an average game gets a 6, and anything that you think was semi decent gets above a 6. Okay. Hello.
Yeah.
You there?
Okay. Yeah.
So basically 5 is bang average. Anything above, anything below, up to you. So goalkeeper today was 4. I'm gonna give him a 4. What are you saying? Raya.
Yeah. I think I agree with that as well. Yeah.
Raya's getting a 4. He made a mistake, led to a goal, and we conceded 2 goals. He didn't keep a clean sheet. Away performance was shaky, and his direct pass led to the opening equalizer. So unfortunate night. If people give him lower, I understand. Some people saying 3, some people saying 3, 4. You know what? I think 4 makes sense. Going to Tomiyasu. I thought Tomiyasu was poor. He could have won us the game. Some people saying he had a decent game, but I think he was one of the visible weaknesses on that right side today. Everyone's talking about Odegaard's performance, Saka getting injured, but Tomiyasu was just as bad in my opinion going forward. Offensively, didn't offer us anything. He could have scored a goal, easy. Kicked it straight at the keeper. Like, it is what it is. These things happen. I'm not going to be too harsh. I'm going to give him a 5. What are you saying?
Yeah. I think a 5
Tomiyasu
is
isn't a
probably about
striker.
right.
I get it. Tomiyasu's not a striker, but still, he's playing at right back.
Yeah.
Defensively, he's solid, but offensively, he didn't offer us anything.
I think a 5 or a 6. I think he was one of the better players on the pitch.
So I'm willing to give him a 6, but maybe I'm just scapegoating him too much today.
Yeah, I think he was one. I think he was probably argued the best player on the pitch in the entire game. If you look at
Really?
90 minutes as a
You
whole,
didn't think Declan Rice was better?
I thought Declan Rice was better in the first half, but he kind of disappeared a little bit in the second half. Declan Rice.
How can you disappear when every pass is to you?
Yeah, see, I don't think he covered himself in glory too much in the second half. I think we lost the midfield battle in the second half a little bit. So,
Right.
yeah, I'd go 6 for Tomiyasu.
Is that Declan Rice's fault, or is that also Kai Havertz and Odegaard's fault?
That's all of them. None of them are getting good ratings today. So, Tomiyasu getting a 6 is probably the highest rating that you're going to see from me.
I'm gonna give other people a 6 also. The two center halves, will do them together. I thought Saliba and Gabriel both get today 5s.
100%, I agree with you.
5s. Nothing. They weren't bad, but they didn't stand out. There was 2 goals. They really couldn't have done anything with the goals either. But overall performances from the defense, they didn't need to be relied upon too much. But when they did need to be relied upon, they weren't the difference makers on the day. So it might be harsh, but overall, we can't be giving out 7s and 8s for a game we lost 2-1. Can we? Like, let's be sensible here.
Yeah,
if you were going to pick a man of the match, would Saliba be part of it?
No.
Would Gabriel?
No.
Okay, so fair enough. Let's keep moving. I think Saliba was better out of the 2, but that's strictly because he had more one-on-ones where he had to defend. Let's go to Zinchenko, probably one of our worst players on the day. Zinchenko was arguably one of the worst players on the day. I would give him a 3. I don't know about you.
Ooh. Do you know what? I'm going to agree with you on that one, I think, because there was a moment in the was it the second half or the first half? It might have been the first half where it looked like Zinchenko was trying to take the game by the scruff of the neck, because he was the one who was picking up the ball the most in the midfield and trying to look for movement in front of him. But then in the second half, he was poor, man. Like, caught out of position for that second goal. Just not very good defensively. But we know this guy ain't very good defensively, and he kind of disappeared in the second half as well. So, yeah, I'm in agreement. I think 3.
He was caught out easily. with their second goal, if I'm not
Hmm.
mistaken. So that's 3 for him. I don't know how people are giving 6s for some of these performances today. I'm looking at the ratings that they're giving on this website right now. They're giving 5s and 7s to Tomiyasu. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, how is anybody getting a 7 for today's performance? It just doesn't make sense. Raya, we gave a 4, right? We gave a 4
Yep.
to Raya. Declan Rice. He's my man of the match. Is that crazy? I thought he was the best player on the day. I don't know if you know this, but he had the most passes on the day. He had the most successful passes on the day. He was the one player that the ball was passed to on every situation. He had 104 passes on the day, 92 pass accuracy. The guy literally had over 130 touches almost of in the game. When it comes to chances created, obviously he's not out here creating chances or doing anything in the attacking end, but the defensive end, he won every single ground duel. He won almost all his tackles. He did defensive actions. Everything was there. Statistics back up his performance. Now, if you go eye test, the midfield looked poor, but he wasn't the issue. Odegaard and Havertz didn't pick up their weight.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with that as well. I definitely think Declan Rice was our best player in the first half by a country mile, an absolute country mile.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think it's hard to judge in the second half because the whole midfield disappeared. But I'd be happy to give Declan Rice a 6, and
I would say 7.
I probably would say that he was. Yeah, I'd probably say he was our man of the match. To be fair, Declan Rice.
Yeah.
But I don't think he gets any higher than a 6.
You know what? That's fair. 6.5. Let's meet in the middle. Cool?
Cool. Yeah. Okay.
6.5. Meet in the middle, 6.5. Now, Havertz gets scapegoated a lot, bro. And I kind of defend the guy. Always. Today, did he really do anything?
We may as well play with 10 men. And that's what, in fact, we could call out Kai Havertz, but Odegaard's just as bad today.
You know what? Let's rate both of them together.
3 at best. Maybe even worse than that.
If I gave Zinchenko a 3, I think it's fair to say Kai Havertz and Odegaard can both get 4s.
Nah.
You'd give Zinchenko a better game than Havertz and Odegaard?
No, I think they had about the same.
Let me know, everyone in the chat, let me know. What do you guys give Kai Havertz? Kai Havertz had 19 attempted passes the whole game. Now, I'm not somebody who scapegoats a player. I don't like getting at one individual player. He could have actually scored a goal. He had 19 attempted passes. He had 33 touches of the ball the whole entire game. How are you a midfielder at Arsenal Football Club and you're doing that? Now, guess what? Martin Odegaard was no better. Martin Odegaard, yes, he at least had 40 touches. I mean, at least he had 40 passes, right? He had 49 touches of the ball. So that means out of every 5 touches of the ball that Odegaard had the ball, he passed it 4 times out of every time he touched the ball. So he was quick. The ball was out of his feet every time. Why are these guys not taking the more initiative? Why are they not calling for the ball more? Why are they not more involved in the game? We're away versus a minnow. No offense to Lens, but this is an embarrassing defeat because we've never played these guys. I don't think they've never beaten an English team before, and they're currently where in their league? Odegaard, Kai Havertz, they both have to perform better. If I'm gonna give Zinchenko a 3, I'm gonna have to give them 3s then. Based on that, I think that's only fair. That's harsh based on ratings, but what did they do? Outside of Saka and Jesus in the attack, the midfield was non-existent. We held on possession, but you know who held on to most of the possession? Declan Rice in the defense.
Yeah, and this is the thing. In the first half, you see Zinchenko pick the ball up. He's looking for movement in front of him from Kai Havertz, from Martin Odegaard, and he sees nothing sideways, backwards. Same for Declan Rice. You know, Do you know what? If we're giving Zinchenko a 3, I'm giving Martin Odegaard and Kai Havertz a 2. Because based off
Oh
of what you
wow.
just said there, the stats, the fact that they had what, 40, 50, they had 70 touches in the entire game between the two of them. And they're supposed to be our two more
Declan Rice had
right midfielders.
104 passes completed.
Yeah, on his own. That's not good enough. I'm sorry. They both get a 2. They both get a 2.
Bro, when you look at it from that perspective, it's fucked.
100%.
How? And the crazy thing is, we're coming out of this game saying if we just finished 2 chances, it would have been a good game. Mental. We have to do better.
Yeah. They both get a 2.
Quickly, just to stream by, so they're gonna both get 2s. Saka, before he got injured, he was having a good game. I'm gonna give him a 6. Trossard, you know what? Even though it was a poor game from a lot of the attack, Trossard did do a good job. I'm gonna give him a 4 or 5. What do you say about Trossard?
I think a 4.
4.
I think
4 is
4,
fair.
yeah.
4 is fair. Jesus definitely gets a 6. His clinical finish, he was really involved in the game. He actually was one of the better players on the day. If you're going to give Declan Rice the spine, Jesus and Declan Rice were not the issue today. I would say it's everybody else around him. Jesus got 3 chances. He finished one of them. He actually had more touches than Kai Havertz. He had 31 touches, 31 passes, 25 completed, and he was really involved in the game. I feel like he was more involved in the game than Odegaard. So I'm going to give him, plus he got a goal, I'm going to give him a 5. What do you say?
I think that's fair. I think Jesus disappeared in the second half, but again, how much of that's down to Kai Havertz and Odegaard's woeful performances?
But we have to give him credit also for the superb finish. That was almost near outside the box.
So I think a 5's fair. I think a 5's fair.
Now, the rest of the guys, I'm not going to rate them because 70th minute, you had Fabio Vieira came on, didn't do enough. So I'll just give him a basic 5. Smith Rowe didn't do enough, basic 5. Nelson came on, didn't notice too much. Defensively, he did okay. I'll give him a 5. And then the rest of the guys, Ben White and Eddie Nketiah, not enough time to be on the pitch to even get a rating, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, Ben White came on in the 70th minute also, no? Am I tripping? No, yeah, he did come on the 70th minute. So Fabio Vieira gets, what does Fabio Vieira get? A 5? Because he came on for Saka, he was kind of useless.
Yeah, he was useless on that right hand side. I'd give him a 4.
Yeah, and
what's his stats compared to Havertz and Odegaard?
Let's find out, bro. He had more passes than Havertz. He had less than Odegaard, and he had more. He had less touches than Odegaard. He had 36 touches. He had 31 passes. He had double Havertz basically almost.
3.
3. Okay. I'm giving him a 4. So we'll meet in the middle, 3.5, I guess. Smith Rowe, I'm giving a 5. Nelson, I'm giving a 5. Ben White, I'm giving a 5. And then Eddie Nketiah, I'm not giving him a rating. So based on that, I'm going to show you guys what the ratings are today. Today's ratings are let's show you guys what the ratings are. So you have Raya, who gets a 4. You have Tomiyasu, who gets a 6. Saliba gets a 5. Magalhaes gets a 5. Zinchenko gets a 3. Rice gets a 6.5, man of the match. Havertz gets a 2. Odegaard gets a 2 or a 3. What was it? 2 or 2. Saka gets a 6. One of the better players in the day. Trossard gets a 4. Jesus gets a 5. Fabio Vieira gets a 3. Nelson, Smith Rowe, Nelson, and Thing basically get default ratings, and Eddie Nketiah doesn't get a rating. So that's the ratings for today, ladies and gentlemen. That's pretty much it for the game. Very disappointing game. This picture pretty much defines how we all felt today after that game. And bro, it sucks. We haven't been in the Champions League for years. Our first Champions League away performance is a loss. Our first loss of the season. Going into that Man City game, I wanted to be confident. I was gonna say cocky. You never want to be cocky. I wanted to be confident. I wanted to be gassed. But now it's kind of put a dampener on that game against Man City, don't you think?
In a way, yeah. In a way. But we have to perform much better than that against Man City. We have to perform much better than what we've seen from Arsenal all season.
Are you confident going into that game? Because I said to Dabs that I think we're the favorites, and he said to me, "You're crazy if you think you're the favorites."
I don't think we're the favourites because of our record against City. But when you look at the fact that they've got Rodri out, if Bukayo Saka is fit, and the
This is
remainder
who
of our
they
players
got out. So Rodri, KDB,
Mhm.
John Stones, and Bernardo. If they have John Stones and Bernardo back, it's a little bit of a tougher game because John Stones is really good, Bernardo's really good. But if they have all four of these guys out, bro, I think we win. It doesn't matter if and Martinelli might actually be back in time for that game, but he'll be a substitute probably.
The only thing I'd say is our away form, despite what happened tonight, is actually better than our home form. And we have a tendency of conceding stupid goals at home. We can't be doing that against Manchester City because we will get finished. I think it's going to be a tough game. I think if we can, I think if we're going to win the game, it's going to be something like a 2-1 or something like that. But I can honestly see a draw. I can see a draw.
Bro, is that the first time we lost a game when Gabriel Jesus scored?
Possibly.
Yeah. Shit, man. Annoying. Because I tweeted out when Jesus scored, let's go. Definitely winning tonight. Typical me, man. I'm going to wrap it up here, guys. Big up everyone in the comment section. Hopefully you guys enjoy this. This is the plan for the rest of the week, by the way. I'm going to do Vibes from the 6 on Friday. I'm going to do the predictions for the prediction show on Friday and the preview for the City game on Saturday. No video on Thursday, and tomorrow there's no video either. But I'll keep you guys posted in the community. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. Hopefully you guys have yourselves a wonderful day, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side on the next video. Brandon, just stick around for a second. I'm just going to speak to you after the show. But yeah, shout out everyone. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the show, and hopefully you guys have yourselves a wonderful, wonderful day. We're out of here, people. Love for the love. You already know what it is.